People gathered at Together Place Peer Run Recovery Center in Bangor today to discuss a hot topic, public restrooms. Bangor citizens joined members of local organizations like Food and Medicine and Together Place. The lack of public restrooms in Bangor parks in the downtown area has already been the topic of several discussions held by the city. Although the Bangor City Council has secured funding and has a plan in mind, they are being met with some resistance.
You know, a fear that terrible people are going to use it and horrible things are going to happen. And we really shouldn't let the fear of other people, stop us from improving our society. I mean, if we let fear dictate everything, we wouldn't have schools, we wouldn't have hospitals, because everything would be abused. The bathrooms issue is, you know, it's a really important issue. Everybody needs to go. And so, you know, our parks are our parks, you know, in Bangor. They're for everybody, not just the people who live on the edge of the park.
At the sessions held by the city, people expressed concerns about maintenance, cleanliness, locations, and drug use. Supporters say there is a need for more restrooms, especially when considering young children. To contact the Bangor City Council to share your thoughts on the subject, you can find an email address on our website.